Imagine not having 100 standing points right now. Couldn't be me.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Postgame Show, live from the Xfinity Studio and brought to you by Bet365. Got Rudo and Bailey here celebrating another Avs win.
Let's go.
4-1 over the Chicago Blackhawks. Not only did they get the win tonight, they're the first team to 100 points, and they're the first team of the season to secure their spot in the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs.
No, we can go straight to the finals.
We
It's
can go to
fine.
the
Yeah.
finals, that's fine. Yeah. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Avs are playoff bound. That's got to be a pretty feel-good one for the Avs to grab.
It feels great. There are no downsides to clinching a playoff spot. I know, in some ways the Avs have bigger things to play for than just clinching, which do matter, but no, clinching is huge. You should never take something like this for granted.
Yep. A lot of good things led to this one. Some things continued over from last game. But 4 goals were scored, and I've heard Rudo has a little segment there to break it all down for you.
It's the 60-second rundown. Almost no negative notes in this game. The Avs played really, really well from puck drop to puck end. Is that puck pickup? Is that what we're calling that? First period, the Avs are dominating. It does take a while, but they do eventually break through. Marty Necas finishing a beautiful play, a drive and dish from Nichushkin to get it to 1-0. And then the power play comes up with Brock Nelson on a redirect goal. Or do I have that backwards? I might have those backwards. No, that's right. I'm not dumb. Brock Nelson, a beautiful redirect off of a Cale Makar play. That is, you just can't tip it any more perfect than that. It's 2-0. Second period was the Avs' weakest period, quote unquote, but that's relevant. Chicago gets the only goal off of a bad sequence, a 5-hole down the middle type play. And then the Avs come out in the third and just bury them, score another power play goal to cruise off of a great pass from McKinnon to Kadri. And a bonus goal ends up going in for Nichushkin because he earned it.
Cool.
Made it. 60 seconds.
As you mentioned, it's never a bad thing when the Avs clinch a playoff spot. And that is our Xfinity X Factor for the week. Brought to you by Xfinity. Imagine that.
I'm imagining. I don't have to imagine anymore.
Not only, again, the 100 points is, maybe saying that's an accessory to what was achieved tonight is kind of crazy. But being the first team to clinch that spot in the playoffs, we're talking about the team that has led the league virtually all season.
Yeah, no,
that's just continuing their upward trajectory of being the best team in the league currently.
It's huge. It's huge that they continue to be the first team in the league because they're the first team to clinch. That means they have a 4-point lead on Dallas. And this is the first time the games in hand have been even. So you don't have that mystery here. The Avs converted that. They get themselves into the playoffs. And look, the Avs have had it good, man, for the past 8 years now. The playoffs have just been somewhere that they go.
Yep.
But I'm old enough to remember the stretches of hockey where the Avs missed the playoffs year after year after year. And it just feels great to say even the biggest doomer on the planet can no longer say that the Avs can still miss the playoffs. They will be in the playoffs no matter what happens in the last 14 games of the season. Now, if it's anything less than first place, I think it would be a little bit disappointing. But you cannot blow it anymore. You will have your chance in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And we all know the NHL's crazy, man. If you're in, you got a shot.
Yep. Somebody in the Toyota chat saying 9 seasons in a row making that.
Is it 9? I can do math. I'm great at this. No.
The Avs are at...
It's not. It's 8.
Is it 8?
Yeah. 17-18 was the first one.
Regardless, that is still an insane run to be spoiled with.
Actually, I might be bad at counting. It might be 9. I don't know how
This is
numbers
why we
work.
don't do
chat.
math on
Yeah.
But yeah, as somebody in chat mentioned, like that's a great run to be spoiled with. Regardless, if it's 8, 9, however many it might
Either
be.
way, a perennial playoff team, and that's the Avs fandom has been that for the majority of their existence, both in the 1.0 era and the current era, and that is. Look, it's building a legacy in some regard. And I know, you're in this scenario where the Avs are all in and it's cup or bust kind of and stuff like that. But part of the reason you see the Avs have players that love to come play here and love to be part of this organization is that's the expectation. You don't just come here to play mediocre hockey. You come here to make the playoffs every year. You come here to compete for cups. You come here to play in a way that means something to people, especially for an organization that is not Original Six, doesn't have all of that history that some teams in the NHL do. There is an organization where you want to be here. There are a lot of players that want to be in Colorado when it comes to the actual hockey that gets played here.
Yep. That was always the expectation going into this season too, is I don't know, maybe this is just me holding on to receipts too, but a lot of, officials and writers and other, people reporting on hockey came into this season thinking, okay, the Avalanche really didn't do enough to be the team that they proved themselves to be, especially through the first half of the season and even now being the first team.
Yeah.
That's an insane run to me.
I mean, it's hard to balance. Could you say they could do more? Sure. You can always do better unless you have 0 losses, right? But the Avs are in first place until they're not. And ultimately, I don't want people to take this the wrong way. First place matters. Home ice matters. The Avs want it. But the only result that the Avs are going to care about this year is the playoff result. Whether that's playing from the 2 seed or the 1 seed or the wild card, it does not matter in that result. It matters if they make a cup final, if they win a cup, how far they go. And look, it would be brazen to say that the regular season doesn't matter and that these games are how the Avs learn who they are as a team and work to be the best version of themselves. And winning on a consistent basis is a good thing, a way to do that, which the Avs have done this year. I just don't know how you can look at their entirety of their season and not say they deserve to be where they're at. Yeah, they've had down stretches. Yeah, they've had stretches where they probably played a little bit above their head. And that's true of all 32 teams in the NHL.
Yep. For the Avs, too, looking at this from the lens of expectation, there was no doubt in their mind that this was an if for them, too, which I think is a huge part of this. This was always step one to getting to that final goal. They go into this season. The to describe their mindset as hungry. It was always getting into the playoffs. That is step one because they know they have a team to go far. Now is where seeding really matters too. You secure yourself the best opportunity possible to have that home ice. And
that's why nights like tonight matter, right? Obviously the clinch is great, but this is 2 points in the playoff race with Dallas with them. It's why you wanted them to win more of their previous 5 games. They didn't. So now they have to go do it now. And guess what? They took care of business and it was a great night.
Yeah. What a way to start off the road trip here. That was the X Factor presented by Xfinity. Imagine that. I do want to pay a little bit of attention to the fact that, again, an accessory to what has been accomplished tonight, but 100 points on the season too. We talk about maybe some of those need to win games in the last little stretch, but you start off the road trip getting to that milestone. set yourself off pretty good for the next 3 games.
Yeah. Obviously, the Avs aren't going to win out, but it's really impressive to say that the Avs have hit 100 points with 14 games left. That's a potential to be a 128-point team. I don't think, especially when you look at the Avs schedule and knowing the weak teams the Avs have left, if they win 10 of those 14 games, that's a 120-point hockey team.
Yeah. That's
really, really good regular season hockey, regardless of how the actual seeding plays out.
Mm-hmm.
I come on the show and get mad about the Avs playing poorly all the time. Totally.
It's a regular.
And you want them to play better when they play poorly, but you have to acknowledge, yes, this team is not going to have the best regular season ever, but that does not mean they are not an incredibly good hockey team.
Mm-hmm. No, this again just proves that you can sit and break down the last half of the season all you want. And if the first half is your comparison, they have maybe not been a great hockey team, but that's where the bar is set to the freaking moon. And you're talking about an average hockey team from January to now. And if that is the Avs definition of average, if where they have set themselves up to be is still average, they're still sitting in a first place spot in the league.
Let me ask you this, Bailey. Who do you think can actually compete with the Colorado Avalanche this year?
It's Dallas.
It's Dallas. And it's for sure Dallas. And I get there's a lot of baggage there. But it's Dallas. Are you worried about any other team as a Colorado Avsosphere person?
Maybe the Minnesota Wild. Maybe.
So,
but that's not clear-cut an answer.
So you're not concerned about 93% or whatever that number is of the NHL.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much more can you ask? The fact that it happens to be Dallas, it does your head in a little bit for Avs fans, for sure.
Yeah.
And they have to find a way to do that to get to the result they want is get through a team like Dallas. But that does not take away the credit they deserve for being that much better than pretty much everyone else in the NHL.
I know Bednar has talked about it a little bit and been asked about it before morning skate or after morning skates and throughout the season. Not a guy that really pays much attention to the standings as a coach. But if you're looking at it from a player perspective, how much do you think they're actually thinking about, okay, we need to stay exactly where we are in the standings in order to get the exact trajectory to the Stanley Cup final that we want?
I mean, I think even Bednar, he says he doesn't look, but come on, there's a glance at the iPad every once in a while when Dallas is playing. You maybe check the score. You don't watch the game, but you're checking the score.
Yeah.
Like, they're aware. Let's not kid ourselves. I think it does depend a little bit player to player. Some players don't want to think about it and just want to go into the next game, focus on that, and play their best hockey. Other players want that. They want the smoke. They want to see where Dallas is, and they want that to motivate them even more to play their best game. So I don't know that I would have a specific answer for everyone on the Avs, but we live in a world where you can't avoid it anymore. It's not 1980 and it's like, oh, if you don't read the newspaper, you won't hear the news. If you don't check the sports section, you won't know the standings. If you exist on the internet, which all of these players do, you'll see it.
Yep.
So you know about it. You might not follow it closely, but yeah, they understand.
Yeah. I can't imagine Nathan McKinnon is kind of looking at that saying, oh, we have to beat this team because if we don't, Dallas will overtake us. Like, it's really...
I don't know. Maybe he's too busy eating boxes.
Such a weird commercial.
Pause.
Pause. It's a strange one.
I mean, look, based on how he played tonight, maybe he should eat more boxes.
Stop saying that sentence. This is a family show.
They're Amazon boxes. It's fine.
Hashtag not sponsored. But you know who we are sponsored by. We've got our wonderful sponsors over in Bet365. Want to hop over to talk about them for a little bit.
Hey, look, Bet365 did me good today. I got the Kadri power play point. We're in there. Didn't get the Blackwood shutout because, not perfect, but I'm up money on the Kadri power play goal
Yeah.
alone. So we're feeling good on this one. You can go play with Bet365. Jump over with them and use the DNVR365 code today. When you use that with a new account and you sign up, put $10 in your account, bet $5. You can bet $5 on anything, win or lose, and you can get $365 in bonus bets. That is a lot of fun money to play with. And it's also free money. Like you put in $10, sure, and you got $365 to bet. If you lose them, well, it was fake money anyway. If you win them, it becomes real money. So go have fun with Bet365. Tons of options you can get into with the NHL. They have early payout offers and a bunch of fun going on with the big tournament in college basketball right now too. So go get with them. Again, use the DNVR365 code to sign up today, where winning is everything at Bet365. Of course, when you do gamble with them, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today.
And maybe with some of that money, you can use it to solve some of the problems in your life. Some of those problems may exist with a home emergency, and that is where our friends over at New Built Restoration come into play. They are licensed general contractors who can help with any project, big or small. Available 24/7, and they truly care about being there for their customers. You know they care about you. They've got over 600 reviews. I can speak, I promise, that prove that to be true. You know they care about you. You know you guys are getting good service through them because of it. They work with your insurance to make sure a stressful process, like any sort of project you might need them to fix around your home, is as smooth as possible. Repair services offered include fire damage, water damage, mold removal, repair services, commercial projects. They handle pretty much everything. You guys, anything.
They're good at what they do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, those 600 reviews speak for themselves. They are true fans of DNVR here as well. So we don't just say this to say it. We've got good friends over there, but their work speaks for themselves. We're super excited to support them and what they do. So when that home emergency hits, New Built Restoration and Construction will be there at nubilt.com or call them at 720-902-7472 and let them know DNVR sent you. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche Postgame Show brought to you by Bet365. Let's go ahead and hop into the 3 stars.
Let's do it.
Spent
Also, shout out Tiff. That's the McKinnon eating a mail delivery box. Is that...
Oh gosh, that's a fun one. We've spent a lot of time talking about the achievements secured by tonight's win, but not about what got them there.
No.
These 3 stars. There's a lot of good to come out of this game.
So much good. Again, I really am struggling to find significant negatives out of this game, and we'll talk about plenty of other guys that do not end up on this 3 stars. Like the 4th star, which is you, chat. As long as you get us to 100 likes.
Yes.
Get us our winner shot. Get your 4th star. Don't be slacking. 3rd star of the game, I went with Marty Necas. 1 goal, 2 assists, gets the first goal of the game for the Avs. Necas, I was pretty critical of in the Dallas game. Mm-hmm. Another big game where it feels like he ghosted it a little bit. You're a little bit disappointed. And he come back and has this response. And I know it's against Chicago, and Chicago's bad, and blah, 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 blah. The only thing you can do after a bad game is play good in the next one. Mm-hmm. And he absolutely did that tonight for the Avs.
Yeah, that's really all you can ask from a guy like Martin Necas, who, again, a bad game during the last one. He tried with a lot of his entrances, and he tried to create a little bit, just nothing kind of going his way. He was getting blown up a lot as far as, breaking the puck down. Tonight is one of those games that I imagine he feels pretty good about as far as kind of building that confidence back up. Another one of those players who really relies on confidence boosts like that. So when he has a bad game, you see a lot of that try hard. In the next game to earn that back.
And I think I'll save the longer conversation for later because I'm sure we'll talk about it. But him on the half wall and the Avs power play scores twice again tonight. Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd star.
Star number 2. Look, I didn't want to do it because I'm a goalie hater, I guess. Mackenzie Blackwood. 950 save percentage, gives up 1 goal on 20 shots. It does the job and does it in a way that matches what Scott Wedgwood did the other night. I know Wedgwood comes away with a loss because hockey is dumb and shootouts are stupid. But look, you had this bad game in Pittsburgh from both of your goalies, and now they've both responded with quality games. You feel like the trust has come back a little bit, especially even if you don't love the goal that Blackwood gave up, which there are other issues there, but fair. You watch him make a couple of big saves on breakaways or partial breakaways in the third period and feel like comfortable with the way he's playing in net in a way that it's just easy right now. When Colorado gets those type of goaltending performances, this turns what could have been the Avs probably win it, but is it a 4-3 game? It's tight. It's harder than it has to be. A couple of quick saves and you cruise to victory in this one.
Yeah, it's one of those games from Mackenzie Blackwood that kind of shuts down, or at least starts to shut down the "I am not your starter" kind of conversations. Because that's been the big one, right?
It has been.
With the stretch of games that Scott Wedgwood has had recently, he's arguably been the better goaltender. I don't even know if there's an arguably.
In the past 14 days, he's definitely been the better goaltender.
And that's not what he's signed to do. He is signed to be your serviceable backup and a guy you can trust heading into the playoffs should Mackenzie Blackwood get injured. That has not been the case the last couple games. And especially being in the room and seeing, as you mentioned, guys are online. Guys are looking at the things said about them, especially if your name is Scott Wedgwood. I can attest to this. But they see a lot of these things, and even if they hadn't too, a lot of that pressure is there to perform well. And I can't say as though I think I can confidently say that Mackenzie Blackwood has not been pleased with the way he has played in the games he has started recently. This is the kind of game that he needed to get that confidence boost back. He's the kind of guy who, with that stretch of games that he's had, it's not going to do anything to boost his play if he doesn't have a good game like this. And he went and earned it with some of the saves that he made tonight. Yeah,
and I think, again, this is getting a little bit beyond today's game, but it's a crazy high bar for for Colorado, whether that's the skaters, the coaches, but the goaltenders too. Because when we look at this past stretch, the Pittsburgh game was horrible for both your goalies, absolutely. But from March 2nd, here's the goal totals the Avs have given up. 2, 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, 3, the Pittsburgh 7, 2, 1. That's really not that bad. That's one really bad game. Maybe you don't love the Dallas game you won where you gave up 4 goals. I didn't love Blackwood necessarily in the Winnipeg game, but you also only scored once. But you dig into the underlying stats and you see a team that's really not giving up very many goals. And this is an interesting conversation with Blackwood specifically because this was a quality game for him where he had a low workload. Only 20 shots on goal. And we've seen Blackwood's save percentage over March isn't very good because he's giving up 2 or 3 goals on 18, 22 shots. The workload is low, and you pretty much have to give up 2 or 1, or else it's going to look like a bad night. And to a certain extent, rightfully so. But the Avs goaltending, I think, is sneakily not been as bad as we think it is.
Talking about that low workload, too, you're talking about a game where he saw pretty much half of the shots in the third period. The first 2 periods, the Avs really did a lot to help him out.
The first period especially, they just gave up nothing.
And Bednar's kind of mentioned those two, where in looking at this, you get 3 high danger chances out of 5 of those shots for Chicago in the first period. And they don't have to be the best shots in the world, but you expect your goaltender, whether it's a superstar or not, if this is a goaltender you're riding into the playoffs, you expect him to make the big save.
The reality of high danger chances in the NHL they sound a lot scarier than they are. And not all of them are created equal. Some are a lot more dangerous than others and both get slotted as high danger chances. But across the NHL, the goaltending average against high danger chances is north of 800. So you really should be stopping 4 out of 5 or more. And Blackwood showed up and did just that in this hockey game. He did the job. There is not, is this one going to go down in the history books as a game that Blackwood even remembers 20 years from now? Probably not. But it's a quality job. And if you play quality in net, the Avs are such a good team with the skaters they put out on the ice. You really don't need more than just doing the job from your goalies.
Absolutely. And yeah, especially in a game like this, you're running into a tired Chicago team. You take advantage.
Yeah, it absolutely took care of that too. And you're supposed to, but again, you can only play the game you're in.
Yep. First star.
Star number 1, have to give it to Nathan MacKinnon.
Who else was it going to be?
A 3-assist night, and this is it. This is the game of why you let Nathan MacKinnon do what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's frustrating sometimes. Yeah.
That's an understatement.
He did frustrating stuff in this game. He made a stupid pass that led to a 2-on-1 that led to a penalty for the Avs because it was dumb and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes 3 fantastic assists in this hockey game, including one to Kadri that is just outrageous.
Oh my gosh.
And you go, okay, he's Nathan MacKinnon. Sometimes that pass doesn't get through, but he gets it through often enough that you just sit back and enjoy it when it works.
Yeah, those frustrating times, they're not small, really, either. Like, generally, if Nathan MacKinnon's doing something a little frustrating on the ice, you're making, it's an instant, like, that was dumb.
Yep.
Kind of comment. But then he goes again and has games like this. We're talking about a player who has more multi-point nights than 1-point nights or 0-point nights. Right. This is a player who, despite all of that frustration that he creates, goes and produces results.
Yep.
And it's because he's allowed to make those mistakes, and Bednar still has that trust in him to give him that amount of ice time, to put him with players that not only respond to him, but work on his level, like a Martin Necas, like a Nazem Kadri, who they have chemistry there. It just works. I don't know how else to put it. We've said all the fancy things about Nathan MacKinnon. It just works.
The guy is about to have, depending on how well the end of the season goes, could be pushing for another like 130, 140 point season.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a player that you can have a problem with. Yes, I know he has weaknesses to his game. Yes, I know he does things that frustrate certainly myself.
Yep.
But he makes up for all of that and then some by a mile with his raw, natural hockey ability and the way he works at the game and the way he goes in and just does the juice. He creates stuff that very, very few hockey players on the planet can create. Look no further than that Nichushkin goal.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams in the league, if that's not a Nathan MacKinnon caliber talent, they defend that guy by trying to play the puck, and a little leave pass in the slot like that gets slapped away to the corner. But because it's Nathan MacKinnon, he forces defenders to play his body in a way that leaves that open. Mm-hmm. And then Val gets credited with a goal, who was also great today. Someone I'm sure we'll talk about. But Nathan MacKinnon can be the goal scorer. He's leading the NHL in goals still, but he can also be the creator on a level that very few players can be.
Yeah, it's unreal stuff to watch too. He's a magnet.
Yep.
In the offensive
That's a good
zone.
way to put it.
I really appreciate watching just how easy he makes it look sometimes. And it's in games like this where you're reminded of just how special that is to watch. I want to go back to Nichushkin really quickly too, because despite us calling Nathan MacKinnon that magnet and pulling defenders and giving Nichushkin the space to do what he did, that was still nasty work.
Oh yeah. All of it's great from Nuke tonight. You've watched Nuke as a guy that has really done a lot of things well, I think, post-Olympic break, but maybe hasn't quite gotten the production you want to see out of it. And some of that is, Brock Nelson's production has been down a little bit too. They both end up scoring tonight, which is great. But Nuke in particular, you're having a game, and this is more about his first play than maybe the MacKinnon play, which is great to get to the middle and just rip a shot and awesome. Mm-hmm. But the first goal, the Avs are dominating the first period. They're out shooting Chicago like 15-4 or something as the period's getting into the second half of it. And when you're dominating that much and you need to find a way to put a goal in, put your head down and go to the net. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what Val does. Not, I'm going to let someone else make the play and put my head down and go to the net and battle. I'm going to take the puck to the front of the net myself because I'm big, strong, and I can do that.
Yep.
So he goes and does that, and then he makes a pass that's why he's in the NHL and I'm not, because I'm like, I hate this pass. And then it's to Marty Necas' tape and they score because they're better than me and know more than me, and that's why they play in the NHL. Mm-hmm. All the credit in the world for doing the hard work, and I'm glad he gets rewarded for the assist because he created that play. This
is a player too, when Bednar's been asked about it, he said he's been beating the puck up a lot when he carries it through the offensive zone. He beats it up, and he's maybe been a little more snake bitten than what his numbers would suggest. Yeah. He's been very effective for the Avs in other areas of the ice, but somebody who's deserved maybe a couple more goals than what he's been given this season.
It feels like all the Avs deserve a couple more goals.
We'll talk about that, I promise. But Valeri Nichushkin tonight and getting that goal, he kind of needed that one. But in being able, some of those opportunities that he created before that too, driving the net, being able to create a lot of those plays in front of the net has been something the Avalanche miss a lot of, I think, when Valeri Nichushkin's not creating opportunities like those.
Yeah, it's playing the right way, right? You cannot let a stretch of personal or team-wide get to you in the sense of, we're playing well, but we need to do something different because the puck's not going into the net. Mm-hmm. There can be scenarios where that's the case, but I think, at least to me, it was pretty clear that outside of that Pittsburgh game, the Avs really are doing the right things and the goals were going to come for them. Mm-hmm. And doing stuff like driving the net, like Val locking in just that little bit more on his puck management and still doing the other good things he's doing. It didn't take much to get there, and again, rewarded justly on that.
Yep. I like the point that you made too in saying a lot of that lack of production for Val Nichushkin is also evident in Brock Nelson. Yeah. Maybe not getting on the score sheet as much too. Another guy who ends up getting on the score sheet via power play, which again, we will talk about later. Yeah. But Brock Nelson, both of those guys who again have been a little snake bitten in the goal department, both get on the board tonight.
Yeah. It's good to see it more than anything. And, in Nelson's game, I think there was a little bit of a return to the mean. Mm-hmm. He had scored like 27 goals in like 38 games or something crazy. And you knew it wasn't going to stay at that pace. But it was
nice to see. I'll say that.
Yeah, of course. But you wanted it to you didn't want him to go 10 games without a goal.
It wasn't sustainable.
Right.
Yeah.
You want the actual real balance of what's realistic there. And Brock is key to the Colorado Avalanche success. He has to be a guy that is putting the puck in the net for them at least somewhat consistently, especially when you look at this stretch of hockey for the Avs where they're missing a Landy, they're missing a Lehkonen. That second line has to be there for them. And both guys showed up tonight. So it's good to see. And you rely on Brock. Look, he's the center on that line. He's the guy you're expecting to push the play, to be able to do a lot of the heavy lifting in regards to, the goal scoring, but also puck possession in the offensive zone, setting up the right guys, or at very least driving the play to get someone in a position to where they can be the man that sets up Brock or whatever, however you want to run whatever system they are at any given time. But with Brock, I don't think I was ever like super concerned about this spiraling into a problem, but still, you want that guy to be confident. You want that guy to be scoring goals for you, and you want the Avs to feel like they trust their center depth up and down the lineup when it comes time for playoffs.
What I think is really interesting too, when you talk about that, I guess, depth up and down the lineup too, you're talking about a team. Brock Nelson is the second line center of, but he has 5 other centers to work with. That pretty much. Yeah. Like, obviously cannot be all out on the ice with him at the same time too. But he was asked about it the other day and saying that having two other guys that can also play center on your line really provides a lot of flexibility for you to maybe do things you're not used to
Positionless
doing.
hockey almost.
But yeah, like you've got guys who can, like you can really rotate on the ice. And that I think is an underrated part of this, and saying like that alone makes for such difficult hockey to play against.
Yeah, the Avs have a lot of flexibility in that way. I think even beyond just their center depth, we regularly see Landy play F3 defensively, and Nichushkin can do that too. It's really hard to play against teams like that. And then we've talked about the defense so often, but we can get into that after the break. We do need to take our second shout out to our sponsors here, as we are brought to you by STK Steakhouse. Go get with STK Steakhouse. Go get yourself a delicious steak. Open late, so even after this game, if you wanted to celebrate the Avs clinching, go get a steak. They have $3, $6, and $9 happy hour levels, Sunday through Thursday, 2:30 to 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. to close, and then Friday and Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. I already mentioned that they're open late, but you can get a 3-course meal for $69. That includes a glass of wine for steak night. Always a great option over at STK. Their menus are seasonal, so they have rotating items, so there's always something new to try, especially, spring is here, so go get something. They're open on holidays, all of them. If you want a dinner at a nice restaurant on a holiday, it's an option. They're always there, ready for you to eat, and they even do private dining spaces for corporate events or social celebrations. Plus, they have a DJ every night. It's dinner with a vibe. Make your reservation and learn more today at stksteakhouse.com.
STK Steakhouse, as you mentioned, very nice for celebrations. Maybe you guys are looking for something else to celebrate, perhaps a win in your adult social sports leagues.
Yeah. Celebrate making your own playoffs.
There you go. And you know where you can find those social sports leagues is through Volo Sports. Nothing but great things to say about these guys. If you're looking to get involved in any, they have pretty much any sport you could think of.
They have some things people don't even think are sports.
Volleyball, soccer, kickball, pickleball, basketball. I know kickball. I don't think I've played that since I was in elementary school, but the fact that they have an adult league for it.
So I didn't know this when I signed up, but it turns out it was a kickball and flip cup league.
Oh.
So
putting the adult in adult sports league.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this. Just all around fun time. They're the leading provider of adult social sports leagues, pickup games, and community events in Denver. Playing with Volo is the perfect way to meet new people and build relationships, stay active in a fun environment, and mix up your after work routine. If you're, sick of that old lounging around after your 9 to 5, go get involved in a sports league. Leagues and events take place all around Denver, including Sloan's Lake, Rhino, Lodo, Highlands, City Park, South Broadway. Just saying, maybe if you're not, the steakhouse is not your mood after a celebration, come sit with us at the DNVR bar. It's a fun time. Players can sign up as a free agent or gather a team, and all skill levels are welcome. Use code AVS15 for $15 off your first Volo Denver League.
That's like most of the price, by the way. It's not expensive with the $15 off.
Third period of the DNVR postgame show and DNVR Avalanche postgame show brought to you by Bet365. Rudo, you talked about it a little bit already, but Nuke was one of those guys who's been looking for a goal recently. Brock Nelson's been one of those guys looking for a goal recently. Any of the bottom 6 guys in this game, or at least most of them, should have had a goal.
Yeah, they were so good tonight. And possession players, they're best players. All through the bottom 6. All of them were awesome when it came to dominating the puck, outplaying Chicago, and doing the work that you need to do. Unfortunately, puck wouldn't go in for him. Kiviranta had multiple great chances. Jack Drury had a good chance or two. Some of the other guys, Gavin Brindley, almost certainly should have scored a goal in this game. That one might be more on he's got to finish than tough luck. But
yeah,
look, that's the expectation. And sure, you want him to go in. I'm less worried. I wasn't worried about the top 6 either. But looking at the Avs bottom 6, and even if you're like, oh man, I'm not sure about this guy's finishing ability. Okay, over the next 3 weeks, the Avs are getting 4 forwards back. and that the caliber of their bottom six is going to go up a lot.
You're talking about Yoel Kiviranta
Right.
and Gavin Brindley, who are likely the odd men out when two of those four come back.
So, like, do you want them to finish a little bit better? Definitely. But especially when you look at the Dallas game, you're like, man, the one goal that beats you is against your fourth line, and you're really only asking them not to lose you games. And then they come out tonight and don't just not lose you the game, but despite not being able to score, they definitely help you win that game. Chicago on the Sega Baba, the bottom six forward group from the Avs destroyed their legs. They were on them every single forecheck, and Chicago just ran out of gas.
Especially a guy like Gavin Brindley, who I remember multiple times during this game kind of saying to myself, how is that kid going so fast? How is he moving the way that he is? How is he forechecking the way that he is? Just completely badgering the hell out of them.
Gavin Brindley has had bigger moments this season for the Avalanche. He's had better production than this game for the Avalanche. That might be the best game Gavin Brindley has played for the Avalanche. He was crazy, just absolutely everywhere, all over the ice in this game, taking pucks, earning pucks, putting pucks in good spots. He was just this. If he was a 2% better shooter, he probably scores twice tonight.
And that's what makes this so upsetting for me personally is saying, like, again, when those four guys come back, he's likely one of the four to come out of the lineup.
I'm hoping he's the fourth, but he's almost certainly one of the four.
I mean, that's how it's lining up, though, certainly right now, right? Is he has to be the fourth.
The first one's easy. That's Ivan. He's coming out. After that, given the fact that the Avs now have 1 billion centers, I would expect it to be Bardakov next, and they have kind of given up on him at center anyway. And then the conversation is when the third guy comes back, is it Kivy or is it Brindley? And Brindley's been a better hockey player in the NHL than Yoel Kiviranta is this year, but Kivy is really solid defensively, and we know Jared Bednar trusts him. So there's a conversation there of who's the third and who's the fourth. And then there's also another conversation of, like, there's no guarantee the Avs stay healthy. If another forward goes down, Brindley's going to stay in the lineup then. So that's part of the deal. And you just take that as it comes. But that's not necessarily for Brindley himself, but for the Avs. You're talking about him as a potential 13th forward. That means you have fantastic depth.
As chat mentioned, Ivan officially sent back down to the Colorado Eagles. He cannot play another Avalanche game until playing a game for the Colorado Eagles. So that could be the case right now, but also more likely means that we're getting one of those four back.
And there were already some rumors in pregame that some of these guys could potentially come back on Sunday. So that pretty much confirms it, that at least one of them, the forward group, will be back.
If you had to put your money on somebody right now,
it seems like LOC is the closest, which is weird to say, but that's what it seems like. It seems like Colton is not that close, which is weird because he's
given
listed
how he
to
went out,
day, but it seems like I would guess LOC, or if I was being safe, I would guess not Colton of the four.
It was down to LOC or Landeskog for me too.
It does seem like Land
fairly
is reasonably close. Yeah.
But yeah, getting one of those four back. How much do you miss any of those four, if at all, in a game like this one?
I don't think you miss LOC as much in a game like this. Not that he's not great and awesome, but if the Avs are needing something in this game, it's, hey, maybe we could make our lives a little bit easier by scoring a little bit more effectively early and often. And a guy like Landy or Lecky is going to do a better job of that for you than LOC. That's a complicated conversation with Colton, because which version of Colton are you getting? If you're getting the one that can finish, then he helps you there.
Yeah.
If you're getting the one that goes 20 games without scoring, then he's not really helping you there. So
I don't know. LOC or Landy coming back, I will drink to either. We do have those winner shots. Thank you guys so much for getting us to over 100 likes.
They make Bailey shots so big.
They're huge. I'm sipping this.
That's more than a splash.
Don't make me laugh while I'm taking my shot.
Thank you for the 100 likes, chat. We always appreciate you. Vibes are up. I know they've been a little bit rough, but this game vibes are definitely up.
Absolutely. No, I'm especially with that news.
Yeah,
Of
totally.
getting one of those two guys back, or one of the four.
Well, that's just to jump off of that a little bit. I really don't know how much better the Avs can play than they played in this game. And a way to play better is put better players in your lineup. Mm-hmm. That's the next step.
Yeah, I mean, and they've already gotten, a lot of that too. And I'm very interested at this point, to see what a full Avalanche lineup looks like with the addition of Nazem Kadri back into the lineup, the version of Nick Waugh you're getting, the version of Brett Kulak that you're getting, who has been incredible defensively.
He was awesome today too.
Yeah. I mean, one kind of bad defensive breakdown where everybody, not that he's on the ice for it, but you're looking at one bad situation that leads to a goal on the other side that breaks Mackenzie Blackwood's shutout. But as far as defensively goes for the Avs, we talked a lot about how great they've been offensively. A lot of these guys should have had goals tonight. But as far as the defensive side of things go, Brett Kulak, you can't ask much more from a guy like Brett Kulak.
He's been a stabilizing force in the Avs decor from minute one. It's just worked with him. And it's great to watch because reliability has been maybe the Avs' biggest struggle with their decor this year. And look, nobody's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, but I've yet to see Brett Kulak have a truly bad game on the whole. He always finds a way to do really effective stuff in the defensive zone. And some nights that's an easy job where you just don't get noticed and you take care of your guys and you do the job. Other nights you got to do some heavy lifting in that regard. And he just goes out and takes care of it, whether the rest of your decor is playing great, whether the rest of your decor is playing horrible, just doesn't seem to affect him, and he does what he needs to do.
Yeah, I, again, can't ask much more of him. But in saying all of that, looking at the full potential for this Avs team, having a Landy playing up in the top six with the Nazem Kadri, again, with the way that Waugh has been providing and what he can maybe do. I mean, you have to imagine he's playing in a bottom six role, which if that is one of your bottom six guys.
I don't know where else you put him,
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be terrifying for some of these prospective teams getting ready to face the Avs once they are fully healthy, right?
Yeah, I mean, the caliber of talent on the Avs third line, fully healthy, and pretty much anyone else's third line in comparison is the Avs will just be better on paper. And of course you still have to go out and execute, but you look at what the Avs are doing with Kadri hard in their top six and Nick Waugh moonlighting in their top six. You go from those two guys playing in your top six to playing on your third line, probably together. And your talent level just skyrockets. It's not even comparable. When are you leaving Nichushkin with the top line and dropping Landy on the second line next to Lehkonen and you run that with Nelson? Maybe. However you want to mash up the top six, I don't really care. I think it's going to be good no matter what.
Right.
And then you also get Colton back. You legitimately have none of your third line players playing on your third line right now.
Yep.
Because they're either playing up in the lineup or they're hurt. And the Avs are putting up 49 shots against the Chicago team. Again, I understand the context, but that's just great hockey. You don't have to worry about the Avs playing quality, playing the right way. Of the 68 games they've played, 65 of them, I think they've played the right way. And, sometimes they made enough mistakes that they lose. Sometimes maybe they deserved better. But you have confidence in them to do the right things. And then when you add that extra element of skill and ability, there's a reason they're the favorites.
Yep. Before we get into talking about the thing that everybody always loves hearing us talk about, one other player I did want to touch on.
Yeah.
Josh Manson.
Yeah.
Who, on both sides of the puck, played an incredible game. Not that there were many players who, if any players who played a bad game, but Josh Manson especially stood out to me tonight.
He's the chaos monster, right? A little bit of craziness all over the place with him at times when he's playing at his best. And, I think we see this with Josh especially. He's a guy that recognizes the moments a little bit. When the Avs are up 14 points in the standings in January and everyone's coasting, maybe he's not going 100% too. When you're down to the stretch run, when Dallas is on your heels, you just come off a tough loss and you know you need someone to step up and give it 100%. When you get the 100% version of Josh Manson, he's noticeable every single time. And that really, really helps when you take a look at an Avs defense that is relied upon, not necessarily to create chaos in the way that Josh Manson does, but when they say two-way defenseman, they mean it. You can't be a defensive defenseman, really. Brett Kulak is as close as you get to a true defensive defenseman in the Avs system, and even he jumps up into the play in the offensive zone at times. And Josh Manson is really good when he's at his best at both ends of the ice. The Avs fans, I think, are pretty comfortable with that because they've watched him do it for years now. But I think a lot of the league doesn't really understand how sneaky good Josh Manson is at playing offense.
Yeah, especially when he's making pushes like he did. And obviously maybe it's a little easier against an opponent like this who's dealing with, a lot more than just being at the bottom of the league. But, or at least close to it. But you don't see that often from Josh Manson. But when you do, it's noticeable. It's more than noticeable. Like I hate saying like it's beautiful to watch because I say it all the time, but like generally when Josh Manson can make plays like that, make pushes and drives like that towards the net, or at least in that general area, it's wonderful to watch because you don't see it super often.
It stresses teams out, right? Because you're putting your best players on Cale Makar and Devon Toews as the top pairing. And if you're not putting your best players, you're putting your best defensive forwards against them. And then Josh Manson can come out and stress your forwards in a way that a second pairing, that's going up against second line, third line forwards that maybe don't quite have the acumen to be ready for something like that in the same ways that your best forwards do. And then, by the way, if Josh Manson's stretching you out, Sam Alinsky's still on the Avs third pairing too, who's a very capable offensive defenseman.
And you saw some of that shine tonight as well.
Malinsky was great tonight. I think on both ends of the ice, to be honest. Really, his shot feels just a hair off right now, but he's still creating super well in the offensive zone for the Avs. And if he plays like that, Kulak-Malinsky might be the best defensive pairing on the team, honestly.
It's easy when Josh Manson, because you look at some of the floaters and, slappers he's taken from the blue line too. And those can be dangerous enough when teams maybe aren't expecting that, which they've come to for the Avalanche.
For sure.
But when you can make that push, something special happens. To the conversation, everybody is maybe expecting special teams.
Sure you don't want to talk about UNC?
No, I've exhausted that yesterday. It's fine. I can hate watch Duke. It's okay. Special teams goes positive tonight, which is all you can ask. What I think is the kind of maybe question I wanted to ask was, you get the Chicago Blackhawks, who are the best PK team in the league. Is it even more important that they scored against that? Or are you looking at this as this is a tired Chicago team and, anything can happen?
I have a different answer than both of those things.
Okay.
The number one PK is what it is. Cool that they scored against it. It's awesome, but I don't think that really matters to the Avalanche.
Fair.
Was Chicago tired? Sure. But the power plays the Avs scored on were not the third period. Well, I guess that's very start of the third period, but what I really liked about the Avs converting on these power plays is Chicago's stylistic penalty kill. Hyper aggressive on the puck, really chasing down the puck carrier and forcing them to find the open guy. And instead of sagging off the puck carrier and letting him play with the puck, they said, we're going to make you beat us. And the Avs did. It's something this really dates back to the last couple of years, I think, more than just this season. The Avs have struggled against aggressive on the puck power plays. A lot because of the stagnant feet from guys off the puck on their power play. And that wasn't a problem tonight. They went out there. They found the open guys. The guys getting challenged by the puck made the plays to beat them guys challenging them.
Puck is constantly moving.
And the guy off the puck gets to the right areas and it makes the play to score, whether that's a crazy good tip from Brock Nelson because he's cutting through the middle, or whether that's a pass getting through the seam and Nazem Kadri doing the right thing off of the half wall. I think it's a really good note. Look at where Brock Nelson scores on the power play. It's through the middle. Nelson has not done a good job of making the right decision with the puck off the half wall in the Avs power play. He catches it. He assesses his options. He plays it slow. Kadri gets that puck. Does he collect it and make sure he can control it? Yes. And then he rips the thing into the net. He doesn't try to overthink it. He doesn't try to overplay it. You have to have a legitimate shooting threat on that. He's down in the circle. It's not the half wall, but the guy playing on the far side of the ice. That is the type of stuff that makes me believe that the Avs power play is actually fixed.
Yeah, it's when you take into account the addition of Nazem Kadri and just how good he's been and maybe some of the conversations that he's provided to that room. Because that's one of the things Nathan McKinnon mentioned when kind of asked about it is maybe we need to go back to those pregame meetings and those meetings on off days and just go back to systematically what does this need to look like. Kadri's been a huge part of those conversations. And since the Olympic break, it's been great. But you see that kind of take another step forward with the addition of him as well.
You've had a lot of tinkering and mixing and matching. And the reality of a power play, it's not going to be perfect every night. 0 for 5 against Dallas was bad. Well, not against, I forget who it was against, whatever. Not important.
They scored. That's all that matters.
They scored twice. And like, yeah, sure. It's a matchup the Avs are supposed to win. I get it, chat. 100%. But the power play has actively tinkered in a meaningful way, that being Necas on the half wall and Kadri on the unit at all, which, by the way, you're not touching this power play unit even when guys come back.
Yeah, that second unit is bleh,
right.
But that first unit,
don't touch it.
Don't mess with that.
But you've seen not just sustained success now after the Olympic break, but you've seen an understanding of players actually knowing what they need to be doing on the power play, whether that's, like I mentioned, guys cutting through the middle or guys sliding up out high, down low, rotating spots. It just, as a cohesive unit, looks like 5 guys trying to score a goal instead of 1 guy with the puck doing stuff and 4 guys standing around.
Waiting to look for that one guy who's in the perfect spot.
Yeah. And, is that Nathan McKinnon pass get intercepted 7 times out of 8? Probably.
Yeah.
But when it gets through, you have to make it count. And Kadri did.
Yep. Not something maybe they should get complacent with, but
sure.
hey, we don't coach the team. So
I don't want to, man. That job sounds so stressful.
A couple more things to get to, but we do have some super chats. You guys are super active in the super chats today. Thank you. From Ryan B1, $2. Good, clean win. Need one like this.
Yeah.
Bad.
It was almost frustrating because the Avs have played so well. I know Bednar didn't love the second period, but that was their worst period of the game, and it really was not a bad period outside of that 145-second stretch. And the Avs played so well, and you're like, eventually this team has to get rewarded for it. In the third period, they do. They take care of business, and you just get to feel good about this one.
Yep. $4.99, $5 from B Grimball 31 BTW. It's Banks, my YouTube tweaking as B Grimball. 4 points up, and even games now don't crumble, and we look good.
Yep, that's as bad as some of the vibes were with the standing stuff and Dallas closing that gap. We are sitting here today saying the Avs have not trailed in that run to the playoffs yet. They still completely control their own destiny. With 14 games left in the season, Dallas has to be 2.5 games better than the Avs.
Yep.
Because the Avs will hold all of the tiebreakers. Now, there is one more head-to-head game, and that's going to be a huge telltale sign of how this is going to go. But it's still the Avs in control.
Yep. Another $2 from B Grimball. Also, Bailey, like the new hair. Also, hashtag keep pounding. Love my Panthers fans in the chat. Also, not new hair, but thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yes, probably. $10.
Better than mine, at least.
We're growing it out. The frosted tips are happening. I like it. We're
Not going to make it. It's getting shaved before we get there for sure.
$10 from Dr. Z. Dallas game was reminiscent of playoffs last year. Their drive at the beginning of the year fueled by that loss. Wondered if the spark would come back after Dallas lost. For one game, at least it has.
Yeah, and like I don't want to oversell it. It is Chicago. It is one you are expected to win, but they could have come out and probably won this game by out shooting Chicago 30-22 and just doing enough to get the win. And they come out, they're not getting rewarded early. They keep pushing. They get a couple of goals. They're in the lead. Chicago gets one back. They keep pushing. They get into the third period and they completely bury them. Is it easier to do that against Chicago? Sure, but you still have to go out and do it. And they played as good as you could reasonably expect any team to play.
Yep. I don't know how you expect more from that. Great way to start off the road trip. And then finally, a whopping $50 from Support Janice Care Services. Strong finish, even stronger playoffs. That is the expectation.
I hope so. That's the dream. It's, again, celebrate your dubs. You take your clinch playoffs, go out, enjoy it tonight, take your 100 points, know you're in the driver's seat, but then it's back to work. And until you get to that big silver thing at the end, it's back to work every single day.
I love this chat here. As we head into overtime, the conversation continues online at thednvr.com. How close are we, do we think, to the 1K super chat for the blue and burgundy hair?
I don't know. I don't think we've been keeping track all that close.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's with the way he's talking about shaving it, Chad. I don't know if we're getting there. At least it's
maybe save it for next season because it's all got to go for the playoffs anyway. So.
As one of the super chats kind of mentioned, you start off this road trip on the right foot.
Yep.
You've got a couple decent teams coming up here in the next stretch. Not teams that the Avs shouldn't be able to beat, but you start things off on the right foot.
Yep.
With not just with a win, but with a resounding win.
Yep. It's a good start. The expectation of this road trip, which is it ends a little weird, but you have to go 3-1 at this thing, minimum. Now you're 1-0. So now all you have to do is go 2-1 in your next 3.
Yeah, you're there.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know as though I have a whole ton more to add to this one.
It's nice when they just play a really good game and you get to go, they were great. On to the next one.
Yeah. It's a great feeling. Not just the winner shots, which again, thank you, chat, for grabbing those for us. But yeah, great way to start this thing off and get the ball rolling on what is now the home stretch of the regular season.
We're officially there.
I don't know if we're officially there, but I think maybe
that's fair. Once a team clinches, that's the home stretch.
I think that's, I like that answer. No pod from us tomorrow, but we are back bright and early for a game on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Start against the Washington Capitals. You guys may not be awake, but we certainly will be watching the game. We got a pregame, postgame, and watch along for you all to enjoy. But until then, that does it for the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We will see you guys next time, and brought to you by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.